Colin's quest for inner peace, as relayed by me, Robin, as I am still removing eucalyptus leaves from the letterbox. It began, as all Colin related misadventures do, with a proclamation. I require transformation, he declared, striking a pose that suggested a noble falcon ready to take flight. He was, in fact, wearing a paper mache crown and one of Edna's old gardening cloaks. The role of Arthur demands a soul of steel and a pancreas cleansed of toxins. Apparently, the lead in a local remake of the King Arthur legend had gone to Colin largely due to his dramatic reading of a Tesco recipe and the director's mysterious illness later traced to Grant Edna's experimental chutney. Colin, feeling the weight of theatrical destiny upon his shoulders, announced he would be retreating to a place of great stillness and kombucha. This place, as it turned out, was Ye Old Retreat and Spa, a ramshackled Edwardian manor promising spiritual alignment, hot stone therapy, and complimentary time tea. The brochure featured a goat in a sun hat. This should have been the first warning. Robin & Co. agreed rather too readily to drop him off. Day 1. Oh no. Upon arrival, Colin was scandalised by the lack of embroidered robes and immediately asked to speak to the retreat's art director. He was instead shown to a shared yurt and given a hemp robe, a beetroot smoothie, and a yoga schedule that included something called elemental goat grounding. His fellow retreat goers included Nigel, a retired colonel attempting mindfulness while denying he snored; Harmony, a woman who spoke exclusively in moon phases; Bob the goat, who enjoyed Colin's robe a little too much. Colin tried to organise a rehearsal of Camelot on the second evening, but was thwarted when his Excalibur replica, fashioned from curtain rail, was confiscated during a sound bath. He spent most of the session whispering soliloquies to a framed mandala and was later caught attempting to pin his laminated cutlass permit to the chakra board. Day 2. Detox, despair, and dramatic rebirth. At dawn, Colin was roused for a silent forest walk. This went poorly. His interpretation of silent included spontaneous monologues and an impromptu interpretive dance titled Sword in the Soul. By lunch, he'd attempted to stage a mutiny over the lack of clotted cream, was stung by a herbally inclined bee, and had declared war on patchouli oil. His spiritual rebirth came during a compost meditation exercise where he fell backwards into a lavender compost heap, shrieked dramatically, and emerged declaring, "I've seen the light. It smells faintly of marjoram." He claims he saw Opal in a vision there, ethereal, shimmering, faintly judgmental. She was, after all, the one that got away, the orchid of his dreams, his clotrophilic queen. Day 3. Departure and artistic vengeance. Colin left abruptly after being asked to lead a chant circle which he mistook for a cue to perform If Ever I Would Leave You from Camelot. He was booed by Bob the goat. This understandably broke him. He returned to the parlour in silence, carrying a jar of detoxified air and a certificate stating he had completed 3 full cycles of personal recalibration. He placed it next to his cutlass permit. There was a tiny pressed orchid petal inside his retreat welcome pack. He says it was coincidence. We are not convinced. The retreat, he insists, was a triumph. Editor's note from Robin. The production of Arthur, the round terracotta pot starring Colin and his new leading lady, Opal the orchid, a fresh young bud of great renown, will be released on our blog site at ko-fi.com on the 25th of July. Link is below. Colin has requested fog machines and a choir of interpretive jugglers. We've requested divine intervention. Stay tuned. If your idea of wellness involves compost heaps, dramatic exits, and emotionally distant orchids, you're in the right place. Join Colin and the rest of the curious lot for more ongoing antics at the Parlour blog at ko-fi.com. And if wellness isn't quite your speed and you'd prefer your tea with a slice of Victorian scandal, criminal intrigue, and a faint scent of mothballs, do have a peek at our Patreon. Over 600 tales await, covering crime, curiosity, and questionable moustaches from Georgian, Victorian, and Edwardian times. Yours, somewhat reluctantly relaying for Colin, Robin. P.S. Edna has since repurposed the retreat's complimentary detox jar to store pickled walnuts. The scriptwriter is trying to turn it into a podcast microphone, and Colin is outside rehearsing sword poses with a curtain rod and asking if anyone has seen his chakra alignment. It's all going terribly well.